What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into a good bit of games today. And again, these are all based off metrics. Just today happens to be the day a lot of these basketball games are playing. So, as you know, I very much like the against the spread metric, whether it be undefeated or winless. So, with that being said, here's our outstanding sequences from yesterday. And I do like Louisville today. They're 0-4 against the spread this year, so I do expect them to cover in the next game or two. But as you can see, I did already pick Louisville. Now, all of these, there's quite a bit of them, but I just want to show you certain ones I have a little more faith in than others. Just like yesterday, we got Georgia and we got Clemson. The Clippers, we saved them for second and third legs because of the metric. So, regarding Louisville, as you can see, I just did minus X. I meant to do plus because I wasn't even sure what they were getting when I did this last night. My book wasn't open yet. But we can see they are getting 13.5 here, and we're going to take that. And it'll be to win 50 on a second leg. And that's essentially how all of my, picks work. If you don't know, if you haven't seen videos on my system, I do go into greater detail. But as you can see, Louisville is, all right, it's not showing it here, but on the team ranking, they're 13.5 they're getting. And since they have not won yet against the spread, I do like them to finally win against the spread. And there's many other games just like this that we'll be picking for, similar reasons. Again, with the system, we don't need every one of them to come through. We simply need to split them and then keep splitting them. But I actually think we're going to win more than half. We usually do in this kind of metric. So these are in general the ones that I had. And then these look like the ones today that are actually playing. We got Rhode Island playing as well. And here's another one where they have yet to win against the spread. So whenever I see that, I really like that team. So here we're getting 9. And you can hear it does show it 0-4 against the spread. So I just think it's a better chance they both go to 1-4 than. And again, any one team can start off a little slower against the spread. But again, as we've seen with every other season, over the course of a season, we're not going to see a team just finish 5%, 10% against the spread. It just doesn't happen. Maybe like 20 for a bad team, and that's about going pretty extreme. So there's another second leg. The good thing is most of our outstanding legs are only first legs. So nothing about B47. Nothing crazy there. We got Arizona didn't come through last night. Mississippi State didn't. Outside of that, we caught all of our other NBA and college games, which is always good. So I do like Rhode Island. And like I said, the other one that I hadn't covered, I'm actually fading this one, I believe. It's San Diego State. I think it's who they're playing is. And let me check because I always like to make sure. I'm pretty sure San Diego State is playing a team that has yet to lose against the spread, and that's why I'm taking San Diego State. Let me see. I could be wrong, and it doesn't really matter. I'm taking them for the same reason, the same metric, but I want to make sure. So we see San Diego's 3-0, but I like to wait till it gets to about 4 games. Like around now, we could start fading them, but we have a lot of teams at 0-4, which is obviously better than 0-4. So San Diego State's 3-1. Who are they playing? That's what it is. They're playing Arizona. And as we can see this year with Arizona, they are 4-0 on the over. And on the spread, they are doing poorly. But like I said before, for me, it's always about the 0 to 100%. So as far as this one, since, as we can see again, Arizona on the over-under this year is 4-0. I do like Arizona, San Diego State to go under. So for as you can see, let me do this 1 second. There we go. And I'll get it out there better. So we're going to do under on the San. So just to recap, we got Louisville covering we got Rhode Island covering. And then we're going to be going the under on the San Diego State-Arizona game. Let's get that official spread. And again, there's dozens of games we can do this with. I wanted to just basically get out the ones that jumped out to me, and then you can always adjust it for your system, however you want to do it. So both teams undefeated, obviously. I don't look at that. I look at the 164.5. And since Arizona's yet to go under, I do like Arizona to go under 164.5. I don't love it as a second leg, but I think it's fitting. We lost Arizona Cardinals last night, so I'm going to go ahead and do Arizona as a second leg here, personally. Arizona minus 163.5 or 4. I think it was 4. Yeah. And again, you always want to make sure that your book matches the official metric. You want to get it as close to game time as possible because ESPN's metric could change, things like that. If you think the line's going to go for an under, if you think the line's going to go up, you obviously want to wait. If you think it's going to go down, you want to lock it in. But I think it'll probably be around the same. So I do like the under in that Arizona, and I'll just college basketball. That guy, you guys know. I mean, with this kind of spread, it's kind of hard not to know who it is. But just in case, same here. Louisville, this is all college. I don't think it needs to be further explained, but yeah, all college basketball. So I do like, again, the under in the Arizona game there. And then for the last cover I like is one last team, not last, but just the last one I'm picking right now, that has yet to win against a spread. And I also like to pick teams that are a little more renowned. I've noticed if you go with teams that are, in my opinion, like smaller market teams that not everyone's heard of, in a lot of cases they will have really abysmal records, or sometimes, depending on who they're playing, really good records against the spread. So I usually try and stick with the colleges everybody knows about. There's more action on them. So over the long course of the season, the odds of them continuously winning and losing against the spread just aren't happening. And it looks like, I thought they were playing today. Maybe they're not. I had Notre Dame is playing today. It looks like they do. They play Bowling Green. So I like Notre Dame. Despite them being 4-0, they are 0-4 on the spread. So we're going to look at the spread here. Well, actually, it's got to be an ESPN right-up. I must have just overlooked it. 6:30, it said. I'd rather take an extra second, but it'll be right for you guys than the opposite. And I'm rushing it, and then we don't get it. So 6:30 is when it says they played. I must have overlooked them. Here we go. I like Notre Dame. As you can see, 0-4 on the spread. I like Notre Dame minus 16 here. So, again, these metrics, I'm not saying they're always going to be 100% foolproof. By nature they're not. But over the course of, the long term, they do, like I said, the least balance out. So what happens is we will always catch them on our second, third legs, especially when we're saving favorable metrics. Now, there's only one more college basketball one I really liked here, and it was actually two. It's Farley Dickinson, Wichita State, and it's the same metric, over, under. Farley hasn't gone under, so we're going to take Farley on the under. Wichita hasn't gone over. We're taking Wichita on the over. So to repeat, Wichita on the over, Farley Dickinson on the under, whatever the spread is on ESPN. That one I don't even need to go into because, as I said before, it's all about the metric. So whether it's 120 points or 180, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. You'll see soon that all those numbers are irrelevant. They're psychological Vegas numbers, but that's about it. Now let's get into the fun games. And right off the bat, I'm loving the first one. Again, I think this is more about narratives, and I think they want to make the Nets look strong. So don't forget, the Nets had one decent game with Kyrie Irving back. Yes, the public will be fading the Sixers without Embiid, without Harden, without Maxey. I don't even see how they can explain away it being close. So there's a good chance it's a trap game. But I really think they're pushing. Again, it's on TNT again. Now, a lot of times you will see a team that just won on like ESPN, TNT, and then it's just played in one big. They'll lose the next time around. But actually, no, I think the last one on TV was the Kings. I could be wrong. They might have played since then. But in this case, I just don't see the Sixers winning at all. So it comes down to, do they cover? And I don't think they do. I think they want to make them look again. I think they want to push the narrative that without Doc, with just, or not without Doc, without his players, that Doc can't get it done. He's always going to find a way to blow a lead, etc., those kind of narratives. And then you got a healthy Nets team. Kyrie paid his penance, did whatever he had to do. I'm not sure exactly what he did. But he did something, because they wouldn't just let him back in. And he had an average game. He didn't do great. He didn't do terrible. But he played good with the starting lineup. They're talking about Ben Simmons now returning to Philly, how he's going to play there. So I do like Brooklyn here, giving up the 8. I think they blow out the Sixers here. You got to, again, and it's a way to make Brooklyn look like a contender in this division, because we know they're going to be a false herring, a red herring. We know they're not actually going to. They might be a play-in like last year, but I don't see them making it further than Philly or Boston. I think Philly turns it around. But this game specifically, I do like Brooklyn to cover that spread. Now, some of these come down to metrics. For example, the next game I do like. If you look down, it's not a crazy discrepancy, but if you look at 11-4 to 6-10, I really like the Grizzlies here. Jaw's out, and a lot of people just look at that and are going to fade the Grizzlies, because the Kings aren't a trash team. They don't look at them like they're the Rockets, and Grizzlies should still win this game. They're looking at it as a lot of people are. Jaw's really the only guy who can definitely get it going. So without him, it's tough to win. So rigged or not rigged, without Ja, it changes things. But I don't think the -1's a trap. If anything, I think it's a trap the other way. I think people just don't think Memphis are that good without Ja. So I do love them laying the 1 here. And I think, I think, just my opinion, because the Kings are so good against the spread, it doesn't hold. I've showed you that metric many times. It just doesn't hold in the long term. Teams just don't do that good or bad against the spread. This one I looked at, I thought it was a possible trap. It did look like Denver should be getting more points here. Even a little banged up, they have a much better team. So I'm not playing this one. If I had to, I would lean Detroit to cover. And I'm not playing this one yet. I do love the Suns, but I have to just look into Chris Paul, because this is the type of game I would, pick them, and then he'll wind up playing later, which changes everything. I want to see what's going on with LeBron. So I'll have a video out for this game specifically, and maybe some other 10 o'clock games, because I want to see where we're at with our sequences. But yeah, those are all of our picks. I just wanted to go into them, and again, if pressed, I'd go Pistons, but I'm going to go into those games later anyway. I just wanted to cover the ones for earlier and hit all the college ones, because those are the important ones. Those are the metrics that I think hit. Louisville's 230, so some of these are coming up. Make sure you get them in. And if you see any other that fit that metric, it can work too. I just chose the ones that I thought were the most favorable. So take care, everybody. Happy earnings, and we'll cover the Lakers, Suns, and see where we need to play them later.